Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Hawkins. I'm the chair of the Standing Committee of Economic Development and Environment. We are here today to review Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicles Act. And of course, we intend to, after we hear from the minister, to go through what's called clause by clause. Before we begin and turn the microphone over to the minister for her opening remarks, and I believe she has some brief comments, I'll have members, starting on my far right, introduce themselves, and we'll work our way around the room. And so, if I could start with Ms. Cates.
Good morning. I thought it was afternoon for a second. My name is Kate Reed. I'm the MLA for Great Slave.
Good morning. I'm Shauna Morgan, MLA for Yellowknife North.
Good morning. I'm Julian Morse, MLA for Frame Lake. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome. My name is Danny McNeely, represent the Satu region.
Good morning. George Nersu, member representing the Mackenzie Delta.
Thank you, members. And again, I'm Robert Hawkins, MLA for Yellowknife Centre and the chair of the committee. Just before I go to the minister, I would, of course, like to thank our millions of subscribers who are probably live streaming this very important act update. And as such, I will delay them no further by now turning the microphone over to the minister, who she will proceed with her opening remarks, and then we'll proceed as a committee through our duties. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and committee members. Thank you for having us here. We welcome the opportunity to participate in committee's clause-by-clause review of Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicles Act. With me today, first seated on my left, Jeffrey Nichols, Senior Legislative Advisor. On my right, Sue McKinney, Legislative Counsel. Also with us in the room, Andy Taraposky, the Director of Compliance and Licensing, and Drew Robertson, Ministerial Special Advisor in my office. Bill 11 was introduced in the Legislative Assembly in October 2024. It is a package of amendments to the Motor Vehicles Act, changing how information held by the Registrar of Motor Vehicles can be shared. First, the amendment will protect consumers by allowing anyone shopping for a used vehicle to independently verify its registration history. Second, the amendment will support the Northwest Territories Bureau of Statistics to conduct its population count by allowing the Registrar of Motor Vehicles to share information from driver's licenses with government agencies. Third, the amendment will prevent fraud by providing the Registrar with the proper authority to use facial recognition technology to verify that anyone applying for a driver's license or general ID card does not already hold one. And finally, the amendments will reduce red tape by making minor changes to the application process for persons applying for copies of their own data from the registrar. Happy to answer questions that committee may have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. At this time, I'll now go to committee to see if we have any questions or comments with respect to the minister's comments. I'm looking to members, not seeing any. Do members have any statements they wish to make in advance of us going? Not seeing any. Committee, are we agreed we now proceed to clause-by-clause review of the bill? Committee? I'm hearing agreements. Okay, so we're moving forward to the first. So committee agrees. So formally, committee agrees to proceed to clause-by-clause review on Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicles Act. I need agreement. Thank you. So we will defer the title of the bill until the end of the, and begin with consideration of the actual clauses. Does committee agree? Thank you. Committee, please turn to page 1 of the bill. Clause 1, does committee agree?
Agreed.
Thank you. Clause 2, does committee agree? Clause 3, does committee agree? Clause 4, I believe I might have Mr. Nersu to move a motion. When he's ready, I'd like to recognize Mr. Nersu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Clause 4 of Bill 11 be amended in the English version of proposed subsection 307.93 brackets 2 by striking out other information and substituting information. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Nersu. Committee, we have a motion on the floor. It is in order to the motion, committee. Thank you. Question has been called. All those in favor? All those opposed? Not seeing any. The motion is carried. Does the minister concur with the agreement?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Amendment, I meant to say. This, needless to say. Okay, folks, the minister concurs with the amendment. Thank you, Minister. Committee, to the clause as amended. Does committee agree?
Agree.
Thank you. Committee, please turn to page 2 of the bill. Clause 5, does committee agree?
Agree.
Thank you. Committee, please turn to page 4 of the bill. Clause 6, I believe Mr. Morris would like to move a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move that Clause 6 of Bill 11 be amended by deleting proposed subsection 311.2 sub 3 and substituting the following: disclosure of personal information. Sub 3. Personal information may only be disclosed in respect of an application made under subsection 1 if A. The registrar is satisfied that the research or statistical purposes for which the information is sought cannot reasonably be accomplished unless the information is provided in individually identifiable form, and B. An information sharing agreement between the registrar and the public body making the application is in effect. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Committee, we have a motion in order. It's on the floor to the motion. Thank you. The question has been called. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? The motion is carried. Does the minister concur with the amendment?
I do concur, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Minister. The minister concurs with the amendment. Thank you, Minister. So, committee, to clause 6 as amended. Does committee agree? Thank you. Clause 6, I believe Ms. Reed has a motion. If you please, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that Clause 6 of Bill 11 be amended by adding the following after proposed subsection 311.2 brackets 7. Application. 8. For greater certainty, subsection 49 brackets 1 of the Access to Information and Protection of Privacy Act applies to this section. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. So, committee, we have a motion on the floor. It is in order. To the motion, please, committee. Question has been called. All those in favor of the motion as presented?
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed? Not seeing any. Motion is now carried. Does the minister concur with the motion as amended?
I do concur, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
The minister concurs with the amendment. Thank you, Minister. Committee, to clause 6 as amended. Does committee agree? Thank you, committee. Chair, does the committee agree that Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicle Act, is now ready for consideration in committee of the whole? I believe I have Ms. Morgan.
I move that Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicles Act, be reported to the Assembly as ready for consideration by committee of the whole as amended.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. There's a motion on the floor. It is in order. To the motion. Question has been called. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Not seeing any. The motion to carry Bill, the motion is carried. Bill 11. Sorry, Mr. Chair. Committee, appears we have one other element. We'll deal with them as a whole. Does committee concur or agree with that clauses 7 to 9? Are we in agreement? Thank you. You were missing on the paper. We're now back on track. Committee, question has been called for those. Oh, sorry, it's already been called. So there's a motion to carry Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicle Act, to be reported to the Assembly as ready for consideration in committee of the whole. So, folks, that has been passed. Thank you, Minister, at this point. Thank you to the officials and to the members, and this brings a conclusion to the public portion of our presentation and our meeting. So at this point, I will allow our guests to leave. And thank you to our millions of subscribers.